Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
This is the Sumoner, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Please watch my new movie, Brutal Realty Incorporated. It's really funny, and it's really bloody.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to welcome my good friend back to the show, actor-musician London May, who stars in the short film Brutal Realty Incorporated, and from Glenn Danzig's mighty Samhain. London plays the Sumoner. The Sumoner is a black metal demon rocker, but that's just his day job. He works a 9-to-5 like every other average Joe out there, folks, or in his case, average ghoul. Then the Sumoner gets his sights on his true passion. This is where this takes a really twist, and it's you just gotta watch this, folks, because this is absolutely hilarious. And some of this flipping houses. He's flipping houses, folks, and becoming the undead prince of real estate. The Sumoner and Chadley Derrickson and the Sunset Drive Gang. So I will tell you right now, hands down, I laughed several times during this short film. It's 15 minutes, guys, 15 minutes. But it's well worth every minute watching this. It's the winner of the Best Kill 2019 at Cinepocalypse Film Festival in Chicago, Spotlight Short 2019 Trauma Dance Film Festival in New York. So this is already winning some awards. Just watch it when it comes out. You will see what I'm talking about. So London, my friend, how's it going?
Oh, I am great. Just hearing you talk about the plot of the film, I can't believe we made this film. It's cracking me up. It is really funny to hear you describe it, because I just go, oh shit, somebody made that? That is so fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. It's like I told you.
Like what sort of maniac came up with that? And then I'm like, oh, we did that, and somebody got it, because when you make something so absurd, you walk a fine line between thinking, am I only cracking myself up, or will somebody else get this as well? And the reason we're having this talk is because you got it as well. And I am so grateful that you connected with it, and you connected with the outrageous premise of the film.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you take somebody that's a black metal rocker, you think, oh God, I'm staying away from that guy. You think there's no spine in him that's actually funny, that he could actually be a funny person or could smile. You know what I'm saying? And then when you see that character and what he does, especially like the car seat, damn, that's my favorite ones in there. You know, it's just hilarious, man. Some of the stuff that happens in it is just, it's good stuff, just like you said. People just need to sit back, let everything else go, and just see if they like this and give it a chance, man.
Well, I think that's really important that you mention that, because I really would like, you know, the purist, whether they're horror purist, or whether they're black metal purist, or whether they're comedy purist, I really hope that they would have an open mind and check the film out first, because I know that it's easy to have like a knee-jerk reaction to something that's a different take on something so beloved and reverend, you know. But I hope that they realize that there's a bigger story going on under the surface of Brutal Realty, and that there is a lot of humanity in it, and that this character, because he plays black metal and because he looks black metal, he's still a person with emotions, and he's still a person. Well, he's a devil, he's a demon, but there's still a soul there. Well, actually, they say he doesn't have a soul, but there's a heart. There's a heart to all this, and him being in these absurd situations is what makes it funny. We're not poking fun at black metal. We're actually celebrating black metal, because ultimately he's a hero. Ultimately it's a David versus Goliath story, and he's able to push back against discrimination and against bullying. And I'm really proud of it, and I hope that people give it a chance, because it is different than what people might think it is on the surface.
Very, very true. Very true. And I'm glad you said that, man. How's it been working with Earsplit PR so far on this?
Oh, it's been great. They really connected to the movie at first because of the music that's involved in the movie. Earsplit they do underground metal and doom metal and black metal, and they primarily work with bands. And because we got very lucky, and the score was created by some of Chicago's most well-known metal guys. It was Sanford Parker, who's from Corrections House, and he's recorded 1 million bands, and Dallas Thomas from Pelican, and even Bruce Lamont from Yakuza. So they came up with the score, and so it got the attention of Earsplit from the music side of things, because of my work with Samhain, and we had this incredible score that was created for the movie. And then when we showed them the movie, they really connected with it because of the kind of depression in the workplace thing. Is that everybody dreams of, even when you have your dream job, you always kind of stare out the window and daydream about, wonder what it would be like if I walked away from this and did something completely different. And that's kind of where the Sumoner story picks up, is that he's a black metal demon whose job is to play black metal and to summon demons and create chaos. And then at the end of the day, after doing that day after day after day, just the repetition of that, anything that you do becomes mundane. And he gets this wild hair that maybe flipping houses is going to be the thing that makes him happy. And what I've always grown up with and been encouraged to by my family and by my friends is to follow your dreams. And that no matter what anybody says, you've got to be bold, and you've got to be brave, and you've got to stand up, and you've got to follow your dreams wherever they take you, no matter what anybody says.
Did this allow you to kind of have a breath of fresh air? I know you do some theater stuff, but is this kind of a new stint for you? Because I know everybody knows you've been a musician, but me knowing you as an actor and being in theater, it's a little different for you now.
Yeah, it's similar in the way that I get a lot of the same excitement from acting as I do playing music. They both have the same. There's a lot of preparation time. There's a lot of practice. There's memorization. They share a lot of the same aspects that I enjoy. There's the preparation. There's the teamwork. You've got other actors. You've got other musicians. You've got people relying on each other. You've got to pick up your cues. You've got to hit your mark. And that's the same on stage as it is in theater. The same thing it is on a movie set, is that we rely on each other. And the pace is pretty quick. And there's a lot of distraction. There's so much distraction on a movie set, and you have to be so focused the same way that you're doing a concert. And, and it's very exciting, And so it's the same in a lot of ways. And this is very similar to my music career in that I wasn't being offered a lot of work in ways that were inspiring me. And the same thing when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of bands playing the music that I liked. There wasn't a lot of venues putting on the bands that I wanted to see. So we would put on our own shows. We'd write our own music. So what we've done with Brutal Realty is I created a character and then got my friends together and we put on a show.
So you got the ball rolling on this for this short film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I had done the Summoner in smaller roles for other short films. And the director, and I had worked with Erik, the director of Brutal Realty, before, and he said, "Hey, we should do a whole movie about the Summoner. He's so fascinating and he's so funny.
Yeah. If
you ever find somebody who will write a script, we should talk about doing a movie." And then I found I had worked on another film with a kind of a child prodigy, a 19-year-old kid who had written this Western script. His name is Joseph Mueller, and Joseph had written this Western movie that I did, And I was like, I got to keep this kid in mind. He's very ahead of his years as far as his craft. And I pitched the idea of, Joseph, here is this character that I've done in a couple little short films. Would you be interested in writing a whole script around him? And he spent a weekend coming up with different scenarios, and he pitched us the idea of the Summoner pursuing his passion of flipping houses, and we said, we have to make this movie. It was immediate. It was absolutely immediate. It was like, reading a script that was, we knew by hook or by crook we had to make this. I'd never produced a film before. Erik had never produced a film before. And do we spend months and months and years trying to, get other people involved, or do we just somehow do it ourselves? And that's exactly what we did. We did it ourselves with help of our friends.
So how much did you guys take away from doing your first little short film on this? Could we see more possibly of the Summoner and some other films possibly?
Yes, you will see more Summoner, absolutely. And when we finished cutting the final version of Brutal Realty, at the very end of the film, after the credits, there's a little Easter egg, and that was something that we put on ourselves to motivate us. Don't let this be the start of something. Let this be the start of something, and let's give ourselves a challenge, and let's raise the stakes on this, and let's will this into becoming a reality. And I am happy and excited to tell you that we are right now in development for the Brutal Realty feature film.
Nice.
And it happened so quickly, and we had hoped it would happen, and we would have done it ourselves, but we had some big people step in after those first two film festivals and say, let's help you make this a reality.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Let's make the Brutal Realty feature film. And we've got some big stars attached to it, and we should have cameras rolling by the end of the year.
I would love to see John Goblicon in this from Necro Goblicon. I think that little dude is absolutely hilarious on the stuff that he does with Necro Goblicon, if you know who I'm talking about.
Definitely. If you've seen the movie and you have some suggestions for us, I would love to hear them, because that's where I said, kind of like, if you cracked up from the movie, then like you're our audience, you're our people, because we made this and thought, oh God, are we the only people who are getting a kick out of this? Because we would be, I got to tell you, John, we were rolling on the floor making this fucking movie.
Oh, I'd say
we
so.
couldn't keep a fucking straight face.
I'd say so. I would say so. It's good, man.
And,
I like it. I dig it.
And you just kind of go, and then there's that weird little moment where you go, are we just jerking each other off? Yeah. Will this play to anybody outside of the couple people on set? Are we really out of our minds to think that this is something that will connect with people? Because it's so crazy, and the music is so, it's so overboard, and the makeup and the gore, and the jokes are so absurd. How is this going to connect? And then I saw a movie called Heavy Trip, and if you haven't seen it, you've got to see it, because it's a Finnish film about a band that is trying to get, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it reassured me that there is a home for Brutal Realty, because other people around the world are making weird little movies that inspire me, and that I know that they went out on a limb to make something really crazy, and that I should go ahead and fly my freak flag as well with this movie, and not play it safe. And this is a testament to not playing shit safe.
Oh yeah, they see London May as the musician who's been with Samhain, the mighty Samhain, and then see you as an actor. It's like, oh God, it's two different worlds.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I think this is one role that people will appreciate in many respects, and hopefully it appeals to my music fans as well. I'm a drummer. I'm a blast beat playing demonic drummer, and that is part of my DNA, and so is gore, and so is this type of comedy of, it's not gag. I mean, it is kind of gag comedy, but it's also like my main influence for the Summoner is the silent movie star Buster Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if you're aware of him, but he was like the world's greatest stuntman. And I do my own stunts, and I do my own practical effects, and I will do everything for the role. And Buster Keaton was my inspiration, and he didn't say much, but he was able to express everything through his actions and through his face. And with very little dialogue, the Summoner, I believe, gives you all of that. I'm a man of few words in person. I'm kind of babbling right now, but the Summoner is, really speaks for the people who don't really have voices.
Would you have liked to added anything more to the film, possibly?
Let's see. Well, you always want a bigger budget, and you always want more time. So, but with what we had to work with, I'm really happy. I mean, we broke all the rules for this film. We did stuff, on the cheap, with favors, with homemade props. I made all the props. I did all the makeup. My sister was the associate producer on the movie. It was just all favors and all friends. I wish I could have paid everybody 10 times the amount that they got. I wish we had been able to do more. But the final product has got so much soul and so much heart in it that I could not be happier. And let me tell you this, John, what I found out in making movies that is really awesome and wonderful is the things that you have to work around, sometimes those mistakes and sometimes those situations where you have to fix something because something exploded or somebody didn't show up. Those workarounds make something even more special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh,
where you're
sure.
stuck between a rock and a hard place and you've got to improvise. That's the magic. That if you have all the money in the world and you have all the resources, sometimes it makes things too safe, and you're not up against the wall and there's no fire under your ass. There was an inferno under our ass to bring this small movie in on time and on budget. And it created such a intensity when we're filming. But we filmed with babies and with animals and with practical effects that everybody warned us not to. Like, you want a disaster on set, bring a baby, bring animals, bring blood, and shit's going to go south. And it all did go south, but we worked around it. And I'm, only through the power of Satan, helped us make this movie and bring it into what you see now.
So how long did it take to make this little short film? I know it's 15 minutes, but folks, you don't know how long these folks have did this film, though. It's a while.
Let's see. I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 days of shooting. There's some stuff that I said there was some workaround stuff that ended up just not working. There's a couple scenes that we just had that were cut because they just didn't hold up, because of equipment. A lot of the stuff was borrowed. Some things, the studio that we filmed at was closed the same day we finished filming. We were in there at 5 a.m., we were out by 1, and they closed the studio for construction, I think possibly demolition, later on that day.
Oh, geez.
The bar we filmed in was like 5 a.m. until 10 a.m., and then they showed a fucking rugby match. So, we would jump in, and we'd film a bunch of shit, and then we would just haul ass out of there. And so but I tell you, most of the work goes in after filming.
Yes.
Like any, you make a record, everybody goes in there and they record their parts, and there's so much nuancing that goes in afterwards, with sound design and effects and stuff like that. So, altogether it was, we started talking about the movie in October, and let me say this. We started in October, and 6 months later, we premiered at our first film festival.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty quick, but we really hustled. Because it felt like it was something that we had to let out quick because it was such a special little film that we did not want to like sit there on the shelf while we, did more effects or more, pretty much what you saw is just warts and all. Let's get this fucking movie out, because you can polish something, for years and nobody's ever going to see it and nobody will care. If the acting's good and the story's good, we were ready to let it go. And we did let it go, and we're really happy that we just let it go where it was.
When will this be distributed out for folks to purchase this?
Well, I can't say for certain. We've already been hit up by a streaming service to release it on a streaming service, like a subscription service. But we're going to hold off on that in the fall. All the festivals start to ramp up. All the horror festivals start to ramp up in the fall, and we've been submitted to, I think, 23 festivals around the world, and we would like to actually take this around the world and show it in theaters at these festivals, because it gives me a chance to actually go as the Sumoner. I actually appear at these festivals as the Sumoner, and I do Q&As, and I do intros, and I meet the fans in character. And it is really an exciting thing to meet people and to do Q&As and, really bring that character in 3D to life, and then show the film and then talk about that film as this demon. And people get such a kick out of it, and it's so funny. And I've done it twice, and it is something that I want to do around the world. And if you just release it on a streaming service, I think people will enjoy it on their computers, but the chance for us to bring like a live show, to theaters and have people see it in the theater with their friends, there's nothing like sitting in the back row and watching people and listening to people laugh and hoot and holler while your film is playing. I'm not ready to give that up, because that's something it's addicting, and I want to make sure that people get every chance they can to see it in a theater.
London, how can folks stay in touch with you, especially this film when it comes out, when you're able to distribute it? How can folks stay in touch with you? Everything that you're doing, plus with this film, how can you do that, good sir?
We have a website for the film. It's brutalrealtyfilm.com. You can find us on Facebook. I have a website. It's londonmay.com, because I have other music stuff going as well, so people can check that out. They can find me on, find me and Brutal Realty on all the social media sites. And I'm just excited if people reach out and they want to see the film. We'll try to get it into your town. Seriously, we want to bring the movie to your town, and we'll try to make that happen. So please, people can contact us at brutalrealtyfilm@gmail.com. Write us, let us know what's going on in your town and how we can bring this little crazy, brutal film to your city.
And before I let you go, as always, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
I would love to.
This is the Summoner, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Please watch my new movie, Brutal Realty Incorporated. It's really funny, and it's really bloody.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our YouTube link, podcast link, and, of course, soon, hopefully, our Twitch link. And also, please get out and check out my friend London May and all the stuff he's doing. And plus, he's a phenomenal musician as well. And also, when this comes out, check out Brutal Realty Incorporated. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be it's hilarious, folks. Trust me. What Erik Boccio and London has done, and these guys and gals in this film, for 15 minutes, it's well worth your time just to get away from the everyday bullshit. It's really good. London, my friend, I'm so proud of you in this and you guys, so keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, John. We appreciate it.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.